Chelsea Magnolia, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag. Kanpai!
Reach for it. Reach for it. Reach for it. I'm Matt Seidel. This is the I-70 Hot Tag.
This is the Prodigy Aaron Helms, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
This is the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, current, reigning, defending Impact World Champion, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
This is Shooter Shy Lynn, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
What's up, everybody? It is one half of the beautiful people and 7-time women's world champion Angelina Love. And aren't you lucky? You are watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Hey, I'm Marcus Buff Bagwell, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag, baby. Check it out, and remember, no matter what, I'm Buff, and I'm still the stuff. Ha, 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 ha.
And now, CR Media presents the I-70 Hot Tag with your host, Chaos Chase, and the real Josh Elliott.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Chase, CR Media, as you all may know me. And we are live for another episode of the I-70 Hot Tag, episode 76, right?
Yeah, 76.
Nice. Aaron Wallace, who always seems to join us every week. We appreciate the support, Aaron. He can't wait to see the Howletts, man. So there you go. Already going. So episode 76, and we have another returning guest, one of our favorite guests before. Love having him again for a second time, Hoodie Howlett tonight. But before we get into that, let's get all the good stuff out of the way here. Josh, we're live on the Facebook and on the YouTube on the I-70 Hot Tag. And if you're not already, make sure you're following and subscribing to both of those platforms. Subscribe or follow on my platforms, and that is at CR Media 1988, like the thing says. Josh, tell everybody where they can find you and the other places on social media that they can find the I-70 Hot Tag.
Yes, you can find me at the real Josh Elliott, all social media platforms. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. But for that local independent wrestling, Kansas and Missouri, We're at the I-70 hot tag. Like Chase said, we're live right now on our Facebook and our YouTube page, as we are almost each and every Thursday night. But we've also got an Instagram. We've got a Twitter, TikTok. So go give us a like and a follow. Share those platforms if you can. It would be awesome that you guys can do that and kind of help us out, helps the algorithm and lets people know that you want to see the hot tag, and it kind of pushes it out there on all those platforms. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Dean Houston's in the house. The foreman Red James is here as well. So appreciate you guys tuning in.
Absolutely. And if you guys missed last week's episode or missed tonight's episode, whatever the case may be, make sure you go watch it on the YouTube video library. And then sometime in 2025, you may get the podcast version. It just depends on when I get to it.
If you get to it.
If I get to it. That is correct. But go check out our last guest, man. That's crazy. I'm like going to every other week is throwing me off. Our last guest was the Iceman.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Also want to give a huge shout out to our main event sponsor, Big Daddy's Donuts. Big Daddy's Donuts with 3 locations in the South Kansas City metro area, 2 in Raymore, 1 in Belton. Go get you some of the best donuts in Kansas City, best donuts you've ever had. And make sure you get there before 10 o'clock, because if not, they're going to be sold out of almost everything. So, all right. I think we're ready. Josh, do you want to continue the tradition, even though we're bi-weekly now?
Absolutely.
Continue the tradition of introducing our guest?
Why not?
Why
not, guys? As Chase said, this is a returning guest. We had him way back on episode 14. He was the man that announced that the I-70 hot tag was the official podcast sponsor of CSW Horseman Country back on August 27th, 2022. Since then, man, he's been all over the place. He's jumped off of balconies. He's up in Leavenworth, Kansas, in HCW now. We're going to see him in a couple days up there in Leavenworth. So please welcome our
Colorado,
guest. Colorado, Rocky Mountain
yep,
Pro, all over, man.
Last.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So guys, let's bring him on. Hoodie Howlett.
Fellas.
What's up, man?
What's up, boys?
Good. How you doing?
Let me say something. All right, I've been sitting backstage watching this show kick off, and I got to tell you, my boys are growing up. My boys are growing up. You guys got like a whole like fancy little package. You got this like techno music at the beginning. You got Angelina Love and Buff Bagwell intro in the show. Man, what the fuck is going on here? You guys coming to some money or what?
Yeah,
I wish.
About time.
Love it. Love seeing it. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
All right.
Good. I'm right here at the KC Pro Wrestling Academy. We just finished up with our Thursday night promo class. So I'm sorry it's a little echoey. This is not the quality that you guys usually get from me, but we're here.
That's all right. That building has a lot of history in it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
That's
and maybe
right.
Ghosts. Honestly, if we're being real, there might be ghosts here as well.
It's either a ghost or a homeless guy. It depends on how you want to look at it.
Sure. Homeless ghosts.
So, Hoodie, talk to us what you've been up to since the last time you were a guest last year in July.
Man, a lot. I've been up to a lot. I mean, most of my time right now is dedicated to this school and getting the school going. We have had a very, very, very good year, even better than our first year, which I think our first year was, you couldn't really ask for anything better. I mean, the school immediately kicked off with like a great group, and we just have steadily grown since then. And right now we have, I was telling you guys before the show, we have like just such an amazing group of kids right now. I'm so excited to see, like, I know that every coach is excited about like their students and stuff, but like, I truly am excited to see what happens with these people, because they're all so dedicated. They're all athletes. They're all, they all have what it takes. So I'm just really excited, and that's pretty much what I've been up to, is building the school.
That's awesome, man. You
Yeah.
said you guys, we always hear coaches, that train wrestlers. We always hear about the conditioning and the in-ring work, but you said you just finished up promo class. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about what a promo class kind of consists of?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so much of what we do is just about connecting emotionally with people, and it's it's kind of honestly become a lost art a little bit, because so much of pro wrestling has gone away from just a standard like television product, right? You don't necessarily have to be on TV to be a full-time pro wrestler nowadays, where, just a few years ago, like, you had to be on TV. So cutting promos has become kind of like something that has developed and shifted the same way that wrestling has. So, we just try to keep people on the cutting edge of like where things are going, how to cut like a 30-second promo. If like a promoter, runs up to you and says, "Hey, I need somebody to go out there and, entertain the crowd for 30 seconds or, a minute or whatever." But also, if a promoter tells you, "Hey, I've got this big match, it's you and, whoever else, I need you to cut me like a money promo to like really sell some tickets." We dive into all of that, and we dive into like the real art of it. If I have a strength in pro wrestling, I think that is my strength. I come from a place, Colorado. While there always hasn't been the greatest wrestlers in Colorado, there has been a lot of really interesting and colorful characters in Colorado. That is the biggest difference between here and like Colorado. Colorado is just so full of just these like crazy characters, and that's kind of been the benefit of growing there as a wrestler, is kind of doing that character work.
Awesome. Yeah, you're 100% right on the selling tickets part, because I'll be honest with you, Anarchy, St. Louis Anarchy does really well about, they'll post match interviews on Twitter, and those promos will sell tickets. So
yeah, I mean, and it is a thing where you can sell tickets with a promo. It's just you have to do it a little differently. Like, it's not the same, like, "Let me tell you something, brother." It's, you have to connect with today's audience, and today's audience is looking for something a little bit more dynamic than that. And that's what we really try to dive into.
So Hoodie, talk to us. Let's rewind back a year, so to speak. Deal with the Steel. We saw you jump off the balcony like we talked about, and you fought in that big, huge payoff against the Premier in the cage. Tell us about that match, the spot, and all the callbacks that you remember from that match.
Oh, geez. You guys are really making me dive into the vault here. Yeah, I mean, the match itself is super memorable. That is a match that stands out to me, definitely, because it's pretty rare that today, in today's like wrestling climate, that you get to actually tell like long, full circle stories. And the Premier and us got to go for an actual full like calendar year, with the culmination being at that cage match. So that is like very memorable for me. I'm really proud of the work that we put into that match, and I'm really proud of it felt like we not only put, I think everybody kind of had a feeling about CSW, and the fact that CSW was like in the front of like wrestling here in Kansas City. I feel like people were starting to like get behind CSW, but I feel like that match that we had with the Premier and that build that we had with the Premier kind of solidified it. I feel like that was the stamp that said like, okay, like this is the promotion to watch here. And I'm proud of that. Regardless of how I feel about those guys, personally, you have to give them credit for the fact that they like they were with us every step of the way. I mean, they fought us tooth and nail. They bloodied us up just as much as we bloodied them up. And I think that if you talk to the well, probably not. You probably wouldn't get them to admit it, but I bet you somewhere deep down inside of that soup can that dude calls a brain, he has some semblance of respect for the Howletts because of what we went through together, and we have a certain level of respect for them as well as athletes.
Absolutely.
And as far as callbacks, I mean, you guys would probably know a lot more than I do. Obviously, like, you know, the jumping off the balcony was the big part that a lot of people remember from that match. But there were so many great moments in that match. I think that it was truly like a great culmination of everything that we had put each other through, the two teams that put each other through over the last year. So I don't remember like specific callbacks. I'm sure that there were some in there, but I also know that like both teams left absolutely everything that we had like out there that night. I mean, that was one of those feelings before a show. I don't know how many people have like talked to you about this, but like there's certain shows that you just have like an environment when you walk into it. Like there's just this like feeling in the air. And that night was one of those, I can just feel this in the air. There's like tension and there's excitement and there's just this level of like, hey, we might die out there, but like, let's do it. And that makes for a pretty exciting product.
Right.
So I got there at 2:00 at the Armory that day. And within about 10 minutes after the doors opened, you could feel that energy, and like people just had an excitement to them. Like they knew something special was going to happen that night. Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you about that, because like you said, Josh and I can go over the callbacks. There was a dive off of the same corner, the same spot that brother did. And if you go back and watch, I think it was Strider who did that exact same spot in the same corner, same side of the cage, everything. So
that's a good eye. That's a really good eye, actually. That was put in there 100,000% on purpose because of the Strider spot. That completely jogged my memory. That is something that we went out of our way to do as an ode to Strider and kind of what he built. And that was 100% on purpose. That's awesome.
But talk to us about Coach. We all know how dangerous of an individual Coach is. I don't know if you have noticed or not, but ever since Coach cracked that kendo stick over Roscoe's head, Roscoe's been a little funky. So you kind of talk to us about that, man. Have you guys noticed that yourselves, or?
Well, let me challenge you on something real quick. I've known Roscoe for quite a few years now. That dude's always been a little off, a little funky.
Heard that.
Maybe Coach didn't do him any favors, but he's always been a little funky. But man, I mean, Coach Fraz is just a dude that is obviously like an insane weapon as far as like martial arts and all of that stuff goes. His resume is actually like scary to walk through, but he's also just a really passionate person when it comes to pro wrestling. Him and his son used to come and watch me wrestle back in the NWL days. They were at my match with Haku. They've just been there every step of the way for me as support. And Fraz is somebody that's like always wanted to get involved with wrestling. So, when the Premier was walking around with Roscoe Leach, like it just felt like, the right time to maybe bring Coach in. And unfortunately for Roscoe, he he pissed coach off immediately, and so we had to pay that off at some point.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely.
So one of the cool things we did it, back on July 14th of last year, but we like to get the crowd or the viewers involved. So we got a couple questions from the chat.
Sure.
Dean Houston wants to know what has been one of your favorite moments in professional wrestling so far.
Ooh, if we're talking about like my career, I think obviously, I could talk about matches, which obviously, like, Haku is definitely up there. Like when I getting to wrestle him was it feels like something that happened to a different person, honestly, when I think about it. But I think my favorite thing that's happened to me in pro wrestling, and my favorite moments, have come from coaching. There's nothing better than like watching a person who gets into this industry, and when you come into wrestling, it's such a new business. It's not something that everybody has a lot of experience physically doing, right? Like maybe you rolled around with your brother on a mattress once, or like, maybe you and your friends like put together a little wrestling ring in your backyard or on a trampoline or something. But like to actually get into this takes an incredible amount of courage, and it takes an incredible amount of vulnerability. And those are things that are hard to push through. But my favorite moments as a wrestler have been watching our students like accomplish small goals, push through that vulnerability, and find themselves in this great thing that we all love. Pro wrestling is dangerous because it can make a lot of like promises that like it doesn't necessarily always fulfill, but it can be so great for people. It can be such a, like, I know from a fan perspective, it provides a lot of entertainment, and it provides this like wonderful like experience that we can all do, have together. But at the same time, as an athlete and as a pro wrestler, it creates just such a like purpose for someone. So that's been my favorite stuff is just watching like guys like, Scott Tyler really like find himself in this industry and find who he is, not only in the ring, but like outside of it as well. Watching him accomplish these goals and like becoming like a man and becoming, a person and becoming a pro wrestler. That's the shit I live for.
Yeah. We both, sentiment's the same. We both love Scott Tyler and what he's done in his career so far. Before we move off the academy stuff, where can students or aspiring wrestlers go to sign up for your school?
Our website is kcwrestlingacademy.com. That'll take you, there's a big like sign up right on the front page. It'll take you to a little contact form, and that contact form comes directly to me. So we're always looking for new students. Our process is just basically doing a tryout, which is essentially like more of an athletic assessment rather than a tryout. Obviously, if you already knew how to do this, you wouldn't be looking for a school. But like, it's just an athletic assessment to make sure that you can safely perform all of the movements and everything that we do. And then, we get you rolling. And obviously, like, I'm biased, but like, I really truly believe that this is a special place to learn how to be a pro wrestler, because there are so many different perspectives. I'm obviously a trainer here, but like Dak Draper is a trainer here. Anaya is a trainer here. Luke Langley is a trainer here. Moonshine Mantell is a trainer here. And like, those are the trainers. The people that are actually training here are people like Kenny Alfonso, people like the Premier. These are people that like utilize our space to like get better. And those are the people that you can be around if you pursue this. And like, for my money, I don't know that there's a better environment anywhere nearby to like really like soak up this industry like where we are.
Hell yeah.
I like it. I like it. So you're currently at the academy. I wanted to kind of go back. We're obviously going back a little bit in history in this interview, but you were a huge part of Journey Pro and their history. When we had John, I think you were just kicking off that storyline with Micah and the Reckoning. But I just wanted to kind of talk about because when we had you on, Journey Pro was still going strong. What did Journey Pro mean to you in your career, and kind of talk about your history there?
Man, Journey was everything that I've wanted a wrestling promotion to like try for so many years. I think that there's obviously it's proven time and time again, especially pre-COVID and stuff. Like wrestling you can run a wrestling show that is for kids, for families, not a lot of cursing, very very I don't want to say I don't want to say run of the mill, but just very structured in the way a pro wrestling show typically
traditional.
Is. It's a very traditional WWE style, right?
Yep.
I've wanted a promotion to speak to the dive bar audience for a really long time, and obviously I'm not inventing the wheel or anything. Places like Hood Slam do this, places like Lucha Libre and Laughs in Colorado do this, but I really have felt that there has been a need for that in Kansas City for a long time, and Journey really captured that audience. They did a great job at giving the audience something cool to do on a Friday night that wasn't going to the movies. If you're in your 20s and you want to go to a bar but you don't want to go to a fucking dance club, but you do want to do something unique, you know what I mean? That pro wrestling show is gonna fit that bill. And the cool thing about being a wrestler on one of those shows is the creativity that you're allowed to explore. There's only so far that you can go on a family friendly show or a show that's more directed towards kids and families. But a Journey Pro show that's in a bar and people are drinking and having fun, that's where Hoodie Howlett can really start spreading his wings and doing shit like TKO, and we can do shit like the shit we did with Micah. You know what I mean? We can kind of explore some new boundaries, and that was so important for me. I do this because I want to challenge myself. I want to have fun. I don't want to just keep doing the same stuff over and over. And Journey really gave me a way to do that.
Agreed. And it's so funny you mentioned that, because it really didn't have a family aspect to it.
Sure.
But at the same time, I felt like Journey was for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. It was, yeah, absolutely. And not to say that there weren't kids there. It just it just had this feel where it was you're in the club. You know what I mean? Journey just had this this cool feeling to it, where as a wrestler and as an audience, we all kind of were pushing this thing in the same direction. And yeah, that was an awesome part of Journey. It sucks that it went away, but I hear some things are on the horizon for more wrestling in Kansas.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. So enough fun stuff and good stuff. Let's talk about some bad stuff, man. That injury, dude. We saw the video. How's the knee, and what can you tell us?
Well, let's take this back a few months, actually. I worked against Xavier Walker at CSW and his tag partner. And yeah. And we did, I did a pretty standard dive through the ropes. This was I don't know, maybe 6-8 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, it was in April.
Yeah, did a dive and just came down wrong on my ankle and really, really like messed my ankle up. I didn't break anything, which thank God, but I really jacked my ankle up, and it still, like, to this day hurts. So I had just gotten over that injury, like a couple months ago. You know, I just was starting to feel like, okay, like we're good to go. I'm at 100% now. Even though it still hurts, you know, I'm going to tape it up, blah, 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 blah. So we go into this match last month, and yeah, I did this move that I've done a million times before. It was just a pump kick. I really, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I like to show off. Even though I'm a bigger guy, I like to show off the athleticism once in a while. I like to show people I can still, like, jump real high, or, you know, move real fast, or, you know, just to kind of give them a little treat. And yeah, I just I really jumped. I just really jumped into the pump kick and came down, just landed real funny on my foot. I, like, instead of landing with my foot straight, I landed with my foot kind of to the side, and my knee went forward, and the rest of me just stayed there. So it was pretty gross. If you look at the video that I posted, it's pretty nasty. And apparently, if you were there live in person, you also saw it. I am proud of the fact that I finished the match, but I knew right away that I had done something. I don't want to go too deep into the details of, like, the medical aspect of what's going on, because, you know, like, I want to try to push through this injury as much as I can while still being safe. But yeah, I mean, it sucks, but it's part of the game.
Yep. Yeah. So a promotion we're going to see you at this weekend. We actually saw you a couple months ago up in Leavenworth, Heartland Championship Wrestling. You and Naya teamed up, took on ACFC, Tommy Too Good and Austin Reddick, who I know, Austin, you've had a lot of history with. But tell us your history first with Austin, and how far back you guys go working with him. And then was that your first time working with Billy? And if so, kind of how was working that first show?
Actually, so yeah, my history with Austin goes back way, way back. When he and Heidi, they moved to Colorado, and he started working with the promotion out there, Rocky Mountain Pro. And it was right at the time, it was pretty close to when I was about to leave Colorado, but there was some overlap there. So we met, immediately hit it off, because it's like, we're very like-minded people, kind of like old school, grimy, tough dudes. So hit it off, worked a lot of the same promotions, but never got to wrestle one another. And then just out of nowhere, I don't know if it's just because promoters were like, hey, there's this guy's over here, this guy's over here, but like we worked like 10 matches right in a row, like against each other. So yeah, I have quite the history with Austin. And then that's actually not the first time I've worked with Billy. I've worked for Billy many times in the past. Between Colorado and Kansas City, obviously, there's Salina, which is where Billy ran like traditionally most of the time. And we would often make little stops. We met Billy through Brutal Bob Evans, who was a big proponent for us and getting us booked in other places. So I've worked with Billy quite a bit as well, and he's always a pleasure.
Awesome. Coach Froz wanted to stop by and show some love, man.
Hey, Coach, you just missed me putting you over, brother.
Gonna knock a few of these questions out here for you.
Yeah.
Sunny Money wants to know, is it just wrestlers in the school, or are you guys looking at training managers or referees?
I get this question all the time. Like right now, we're not planning. Right now, we don't offer manager or referee training. However, it is something that I am considering, and it is something that I'm like really putting a lot of effort on how to structure it. I don't want to just like be like, okay, like, yeah, we offer referee and manager training, just come stand by the ring and, you know, maybe do stuff. I really want there to be structure to it. I really want there to be like a purpose, goal driven curriculum. So like I'm putting in the effort to build that currently. And once it's ready, we will definitely let everybody know.
Awesome. And then Aaron Wallace kind of leans into my next question here. So not that one, this one. Aaron Wallace wants to know, what will the Howletts think about the Kansas Luchadors refusing to wrestle against them? So what he's referring to is the two guys.
You're gonna have to clear this up with You're gonna have to clear this up for me because I'm confused about the entire situation. Go ahead.
So the situation was we went to sponsor an event, and Ray Leon has a group of cronies called the Empire, and Josh and I were very critical about those guys. And the tag team, a part of that group, the Empire, Valencia y Paz, Bruisador Valencia and Angel de Paz, were not very happy. So, and they wanted to come beat up me and Josh. And me and Josh were like, hey, we're fat, we're old. That's not going to happen. And they were like, okay, well, you can find two guys to come try and beat us up. Well, my first thought was well, I'm calling the two baddest dudes I know.
Sure.
And I'm going to have them come do it. So obviously it was supposed to happen in August. One of those guys was conveniently hurt. Although he says he didn't want to show up. I don't know. It's a long story. So that's why you wound up facing Austin and Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, now this Saturday, we're supposedly going to see it. And one of them's here. He says we bullied him and we changed the story, but you know, that's what my question is what's going to happen Saturday, Hoodie?
All right. So here's what I'd like to say. I don't blame you boys for not wanting to fight the Howletts. If I wasn't the Howletts, I wouldn't want to fight the Howletts either. But you guys obviously have heard of us. So like, let's put that there. You've heard of us. Where y'all made the mistake is if I jump online, if rarely I'm checking my Instagram page and I see like these comments of these boys and they just can't seem to keep our names out of their mouth. If you guys know us, you know that that's a mistake. You know that that's not the right thing to do. And here's the deal. Here's the situation you put Billy. Here's the situation you put the I-70 hot tag in. You put all of these dudes in a situation where they might be liable for what happens to you, because it's not just about what happens in a wrestling ring. It's not just about what happens in front of the crowd or where out inside the ticket booth. We're talking about like it's on site for anybody that says the Howlett's name. It's on site. So like, I hope you boys are going to be looking over your shoulder, wheeling in your stupid little bags. I hope you boys understand that like you don't need to have those masks on to get your ass kicked by the Howletts. As soon as you hear them horns, it's your ass, and that's the way it's been from day one. So like, I understand that you don't want to fight us. I understand that, but if like you really don't want to fight us, definitely keep our name out your mouth. And like, yeah, like, look, he's talking shit. He's talking shit already. Like, that's fine. Keep talking, because like I'm gonna have the receipts. I'm going to have the receipts for days and days and days. Like, you guys stepped in a big pile of shit here. The I-70 boys have been trying to tell you. Billy Simmons has been trying to tell you. And really, I mean, we all know what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's the same thing, for obviously those that didn't see it back in August when you guys did face Tommy and Austin to try and have a respectable main event. To shoot it off HCW in style, and the match ended with the Empire minus Angel, of course, It's weird because Angel always seems to be in our comments, but he's never at the events. It's weird. So he can't show up to the events, but he can show up to our comment section. But anyways, that's where they tried to attack you then.
Yeah, that's typically how it goes. And let me tell you something, Angel. There's nobody that's ever hit me as hard with a chancla as my Tia. So like you can bring all that chancla shit all you want because like I'm not afraid of you or your sandal, dog.
Well, I just want you to know, Hoodie, he doesn't have he's got great aim. But Josh just happens to have a higher dodge ratio than his aim because
my reflexes are like cat-like.
Yeah. I can tell, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh, you're the smooth one, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he was bobbing and weaving. We have a side by side video of him and George Bush dodging shoes.
I like it.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah. All right, well, you know, as we start winding this down, Hoodie, kind of tell us where your upcoming bookings and ventures you got going on over the next couple weeks.
Man, we've got HCW this weekend in Leavenworth. We've got CSW on the you guys gotta help me. What month?
November 18th.
November 18th.
November 18th. Yep. That's in Lenexa. December is CSW's biggest show. I'm sure they're going to be announcing that in the next couple weeks. So pay attention to that. And as soon as this injury is out of my way, you know, we're going to be hitting all the usuals. We're going to be at 3XW. We're going to be at Triple L in Colorado. Like, just keep an eye on us, man. Like, we're going to be doing some things, and definitely keep an eye on the school. I think KC Pro Wrestling Academy is about to be something that like the entire wrestling community in Kansas City can really like get behind.
Hell yeah. So speaking of, you know, you kind of, last time I predicted a CSW main event, somebody at CSW quit. So I don't know if that's an omen or something. So I don't want to do it, but I think we know the event in December that you're talking about, because we talked about it earlier in the show. We also know that there's been a lot of shit brewing with Greg Jovi and his family against you and your family. Yeah. I didn't mean to. You don't have quotation marks around your family. Greg Jovi does. Right. Hoodie, are we on a fast course to another cage match featuring the Howletts?
I can't tell you like one way or the not, and like this is 100% honest. I don't know what is in store for December. However, I do know that like Strider is ready to put this to bed. I'm ready to put this to bed, and Jovi is ready to put this to bed. With all of us ready to like move on from this, but like also it's time to like settle it as well. Like Miracle Violence Reborn versus the Howletts, like that's something that everybody understands right off the bat what you're going to see. And whether they put us in a cage, whether they put us in a goddamn, I don't know, like a jail cell, like there's going to be a lot of violence. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed. I am going to make sure that like once again the Howletts put their stamp down as like we are the baddest team in Kansas City. We did it last year. We're going to do it again this year, regardless of what kind of structure they put us in.
I like it. Hoodie, tell everybody where they can buy some merchandise.
You can find us on Pro Wrestling Tees. I don't have the link here in front of me, but if you search for the Howletts, that's us. There's actually a lot of really dope exclusives on Pro Wrestling Tees that you can't get at our merch table. There is a sick family violence shirt that I love. It's easily my favorite shirt that the Howletts have ever had. It's similar to the Family Values shirt that the Heart Foundation used to have in the pink letters and all that, but it's family violence instead of family values. It's easily my favorite shirt. I love that shirt, but there's also a few more. We are going to have some new merch at our merch table in December for sure. I'm not sure about November, but yeah, stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more stuff.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Sweet.
You want to promote your social medias?
Nah.
Nah.
I honestly don't use it a whole lot, but I'm sure Angel. Who I know who I know knows my social media is this fucking Angel guy. He definitely is all over my social media. He's probably looking at my pictures right now. Stop creeping on me, Angel. I'll see your ass this weekend, maybe.
If he shows up, yeah.
If he shows up.
Yep.
If you really want to find me on social media, just search Hoodie Howlett. You'll find me.
And then Hoodie, the last thing we had you do it last time. We'll have you do it again. Is just in closing, hey, this is you and you're watching the I-70 hot tag. We'll put you center screen for it.
Let's do it.
You can start when you get center screen.
Yo, this is Hoodie Howlett, and you are watching the I-70 hot tag.
Love it.
Appreciate it, sir.
We will see you Saturday.
All right, boys. I'll see you on Saturday. Appreciate y'all a lot.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Later, man.
All
Hoodie
right,
Howlett.
guys. Hoodie Howlett. Appreciate everybody joining in. Appreciate everybody talking shit. Specifically Angel Day Pose. Billy Simmons, appreciate you. Red James. Look at that. Red James appearance. He can't even, I don't know what that says.
Statement.
Angel Day Pazin, Bruisador Valencia, gonna win. I would say he's drunk, but we all know that Red doesn't drink. So
yeah, no, he does not.
Angel says, just remember what happens Saturday is on you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Man, I've thought about it all week. I'm like, man, what is Hoodie and Anaya gonna do to Angel? Like what I want to do to him? Because what I want to do to him, that's crazy. So, but man, it's gonna be lots of fun. So you guys want to check out Hoodie Howlett and his brother Anaya, and catch them in the main event of Fall Fury. Come to the Leavenworth local hotel where memories are made, man. As you guys have heard me talk, I love that place, and love it as a nice little venue. And Billy kind of did a great job locking that thing up. So come hang out with us on Saturday. Josh, you got anything else before we take an intermission?
Do not. We announced last week we're going on an every other week schedule that's discontinued for the next 3 weeks, including tonight is the first week. So we are not going on a bi-weekly schedule for November. But we have 2 guests coming up to close out the month, and then we got Thanksgiving. So we have not announced this guest coming up next week. So you're going to see it here first on the mid-show break. So make sure you watch it. And yeah, we'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody, to the I-70 Hot Tag. It's your boy, Chase, and the real Josh Elliott. Hey, asshole. I thought you said we were going every other week.
We were. And now we're not.
Yeah. I was like, I heard you say it like right before we went to break, and I was like, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah, we
And
had
then-
I had
then I
messaged
watched the video and I
ahead.
saw our next guest is Cody Lane on November 9th. I was like, you fucking moron. What the fuck are we doing?
Well, I had messaged I had been planning this Cody Lane interview for a couple months now. So he finally got back with me and we scheduled it. And we said, you know what? It's wide open. Let's close out November strong. So
God, fucking Cody Lane.
I'm never gonna get over the fact you got a giant stack of pancakes next to your head.
I know. I appreciate Herb Simmons joining. Yeah. I would love to get the whole thing in the shot, but then like
We guess it's all right. We don't need to see your face. It's all right.
oh, I don't know, man. That might work. I might fuck with that.
Get a taller chair. Or get one of them standing desks where you can just raise it up and stand.
Actually, I can. It's funny you mentioned that. Bye.
But then you're going to stand. Know your role and shut your mouth. Guys, we just talked to Hoodie Howlett second time. His return to the hot tag.
This is weird. I don't know. I kind of like this. All right.
Hang on. Should I join you here?
Fuck it. I think we're gonna do this. I think I like this a lot better. Look, my Dan the Dad coffee cup right there.
Look at that.
All right.
We're being healthy. We're not sitting on our asses for 2 hours.
Yeah. Give me 10 minutes and my my bunion on my foot is gonna be like, it's time to sit down.
Yep.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining us again and coming into the shenanigans, if you will. If you're just joining us, you missed us interviewing Hoodie Howlett. It was a blast. It's always fun when we get to talk to Hoodie. And now let's shoot the shit, man, just a little bit, because I'm not excited to get into the next subject, if you will. Something I noticed during break, our friend Red James is going live in 10 minutes. And he's going to be live with Ray on. So might be something that we do like right when we pull off of here. So dude, this is weird. I kind of really like this. I don't know, man. This might be a new thing. I think
this is how I recorded the pit stops, that last couple, the non-live ones.
Those were so fucking good. I don't know why you stopped doing
Appreciate it. Well, I mean, it takes the exact same amount of time to record it, edit it, post it, than it does to just do it live.
Yeah.
So it didn't save any time. We were still doing the same amount of work. So
I agree. All right. Well,
indeed,
guys, there was a show last Saturday. I don't know if you'd call it that. But hey, it is what it is. Josh, let's talk about some KCXW, because guys, here's the rule. Okay. Here's the rule. We cover Kansas and Missouri independent wrestling.
Yes, we do.
And no matter what I think of it personally, we still cover Kansas and Missouri independent wrestling.
Yep.
Okay. Until you decide to pop off in the DMs, so to speak, we will continue to cover you. But if you don't want us to cover you and give you free publicity, then do what Trailblazer did and talk shit and then block us. So, anyways, abort mission.
Reverse.
So KCXW, there was a show last weekend at KCXW's, and it was excellence. And wasn't a whole lot of it on the show, but Josh, I'll let you kick us off.
Yeah, man. There was this is my first KCXW show since last November or last October. Destiny, I think it was. So back at Soccer Nation. The thing the thing going into it, I was excited to see, the women's match. They're going to have the women's title match was one of the ones. And then obviously Calvin Aldridge, Big Dog, ending their feud, I guess. A lot of these matches, man, they were the same matches that had happened over the course of 3 or 4 shows. We saw the Marksman and Tobias. We saw Clayhoun and Blair Dior. We saw Big Dog Calvin Aldridge. So a lot of repetitive. We saw Catton and I'm not sure what the character name is, and against Burt Candy and Angel Shea. So we saw a lot of the same matches over the course of over a few months. First match though, we get one of those matches, and that's the Marksman against Tobias. And if you guys follow Tobias, he's a big shit talker, and rightfully so. I believe he's defeated the Marksman every time he's wrestled him in KCXW. Yes. But that was not the case in this event, and the Marksman comes out victorious. And then as a result of that, he got 5 minutes in the ring with Richard Goldman, I think his name is. So it was a very, I guess, humbling, good moment for the Marksman after losing 3 or 4 matches at Tobias to finally get that victory and then get 5 minutes in the ring with Mr. Goldman. So who was, by the way, handcuffed to Burt Candy the entire match.
Yes, which I thought was a nice touch for that feud. It kind of gave that feud like something like a good blow off, if you will, right, on that feud. And I think the point to that feud is that the Marksman at any time can go get revenge on Tobias. I don't think that's what the deal was. I think the biggest deal is that the Marksman Goldman turned on the Marksman to go offer his services to Tobias.
Correct.
And every single win that Tobias got was from the helping hand of Richard Goldman. So I think that like I said, I thought it was a good blow off for it because the Marksman finally got that opportunity to get, Richard Goldman back and to get his revenge on him. I'm looking at the card, my guy, and I'm not seeing that atrocity that we witnessed.
Did that happen at this match? Was it at the end of this match or was it at the end of the next match?
I don't see the match on the card.
Okay, then that's my bad.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about it because I mean,
do we really have to talk about it?
I think it was at the beginning. I think it was in the first half of the show.
I thought it was a blessing in disguise, or I thought maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Anyways, there's I don't know the characters' names. I forgot. I apologize. But there was a segment where, and there is a guy who they put on every single show, and if I don't want to do this because I'm trying to be nice. Okay. There was just a segment at the show where it was just like, it was a running thing. And it was just like, why are we doing this? Why is this on the show? What does, I don't know. Maybe this guy, I don't know. I don't know what to say, Josh, other than the segment was, there was a guy in a wheelchair who was playing the puppet master to this evil character with a mask. The evil character with the mask decided he didn't want to be with this guy anymore and decided that he was going to beat him up for yelling and screaming at him. And the guy can't stand up. He's in a wheelchair. So he's got his pants around his ankles. It was just awful. It's a fucking awful segment. It ruined the show for me. I wanted to leave. Had my friends, or not my friends, but the kids that I really admire there at that promotion not been there, I would have left. Because it wasn't worth $10. And yeah. And like, so here's the thing. like we all know that Josh and I do this to put over Kansas and Missouri independent wrestling, right? And we're going to put it over no matter what. But I'm also going to say when stuff is bad and it's really, really disgusting. And that was really disgusting. We're still going to promote it. We're still going to like whatever, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell people like, hey, like if you're a wrestling fan, you should totally go watch this, because this didn't appeal to kids. This didn't appeal to anybody. It was really, really bad. And I think the people that go and support KCXW and support everybody who works for KCXW, I think they deserve better for their money and their time. And it was just, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if this person is a partner or if he was just really excited to get in the ring. Like I said, he's been on multiple shows. So I assume that there's something there, but like I said, this show could have done without that segment, in my opinion. So sorry, I told Josh before the show, and Josh said, well, and when you left the match off the card, I was like, maybe that's a sign that I probably shouldn't do this. But again, like we gotta talk about it if it's bad. Like,
yeah. And the masked character, I know his name is Mason.
Yes,
I believe. So that is the So, but yes, so I'm in agreement. Not a good segment, but what was a good show of wrestling ability. There was a trios tag team match, and there's one guy I want to highlight in that match, and his name's James Moore. And this guy is extremely athletic. Is it a 450 that he does, or is he does a shooting star press?
It was a 450.
Yeah, he did 2 450 splashes, and I remember seeing him at Destiny last year do it in a battle royal. We've seen him in XWE as well, and the dude is just phenomenally gifted athlete and goes quick. I could see him having a great match with, like Hoodie was talking about, a guy like Scott Tyler, or having a fast-paced one-on-one match rather than these. I mean, he's always in multi-person matches. I want to see him in a singles match against somebody, his size, his athleticism, and just let him go. But huge props out to Mr. James Moore.
Yes, James Moore, like I could see him and Blair having a great match. Him and Calvin having a great match. Him and Scott Tyler, like you said, he's very young. He's got a young build to him, and yeah, man, I'm glad you followed up with that, because that's definitely a bright spot to talk about in the show. The costume battle royal.
Yes, I have it out of order. It is on there, but it was on there.
Yeah. Dean Houston agrees. James Moore is awesome. Yeah. We had the costume battle royal, like I said. Then we also had Shy Lynn and Lady Pride. And I forgot the individual's name there. But they were the reigning women's champion, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Okay.
They had it
from 2 years ago.
Yeah, they had it pre-pandemic, and then I think it was, I don't know if they retired or what, but anyway, that's how the I'm just gonna say it. I again, same segment that you said that you not same segment, but you feel like that segment as I feel with this women's title match. And
well, no, we feel the same about the women's
I
title
know,
match.
but I'm saying I feel the same way, almost as angry, because it's just I was hoping for a Shy Lynn and Lady Pride. I was hoping for a good match, for a 10-15 minute championship match, and we got a 60-second match with a lot of talking at the beginning, and it was Shy Lynn getting hit with the belt and then getting put on top of Lady Pride for the win, and that was it. That's how Shy Lynn won the title.
Yeah,
like that was a terrible. I feel like we're really hammering this show, but that was a terrible decision.
Agreed. Like, and so like we don't book it, right?
No,
and that's fine. And that's not the issue, because we've been to KCXW shows that we've enjoyed. That we liked.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But again, you know, just for, you know, like what are we appealing to? So we have a women, like if you're appealing to kids, I assure you that no kid in that building was ever as fucking confused in their life as they were when you brought out a women's championship that, you know, that you supposedly had, and you named two people in this women's division that has been non-existent for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And then you say, well, maybe we weren't appealing to kids. Okay. We're appealing to wrestling fans. Okay. Well, then as a wrestling fan, I'm telling you right now, I was really upset when I watched you card out a women's championship. And Shylin has been tearing through your women's division and your men's division for the past 2 years. So wait, you've had a women's title this whole time, and now you're going to bring it out? And when you decide to bring it out, Lavender Sky decides that they're going to come out of retirement for it, only to, I don't know. Like I said, that was
only to hit them with the belt and put Shylin on. Like it was yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Shylin got the belt, so that's cool, but I mean, it's just I didn't like the way they did it.
Yep. Blair Dior defeats.
Speaking of which, before you get to that's how the first half of the show ended. Yep. We went to intermission right after that.
Yep. Anyway. And like I said, had I not wanted to see some of the kids in the second half, I would have left.
Yeah.
So gladly. Clay Huna defeated Blair Dior. Since we're already on the train, let's just stick to it. Why not? I mean, you had Blair beat without explaining what the Season of Excellence Championship entailed. You had Blair Dior beat Clay Huna, and then Blair Dior doesn't get the Season of Excellence Championship. That's fine. I understand. It's a unique title with unique rules. Cool. Okay. But then you have Clay Huna and Blair Dior fight again, and Clay Huna defeats him. So I'm confused on what they're doing, because they look like they were gonna give Clay Huna or give Blair Dior a Season of Excellence championship, and then they didn't, and then I don't know because it's not explained, and that's like my biggest issue. You know, like while
I thought for sure, being called KCXW Excellence, that we were going to get a Season of Excellence title.
I'm pretty sure we were supposed to. I don't know. Okay. But then El Diablo defeated Hard Luck Hal, so he's the new Metro champion. Fantastic for El Diablo.
Yeah. Shout out to
Big Dog. Big Dog defeats Calvin Aldridge again, which is fine. It's fine. But, I mean, you've got, you know, Big Dog beats Calvin, then a month later Calvin takes his title back, and then a month later, so we're playing hot potato with the title. It's just weird. You know, like I said, maybe a lot of that stuff wouldn't be as sour to me if I didn't watch that shit that happened at the beginning of the show, and then the stuff that happened with the title, the women's title. Other than that, like I said, KCXW always puts on fun shows. They're fun for everybody. They really appeal to the kid stuff, which makes it also fun as well. But some of the stuff, man, it's just like, what are we doing? So, well, all right. That does it for KCXW Excellence. Let's move on to HCW Fall Fury before our numbers drop down to 0. Josh, let's talk about this card Saturday, brother.
Yes, Fall Fury. Okay, there we go. My monitor shut off for a second. Fall Fury.
You're standing.
Probably. I shook the table and it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
My feet are dying right now. My feet are like, hey, fat boy, sit down. No, I like this.
All Fury up in Leavenworth, Kansas, guys. We've got some matches already announced. We talked about one earlier. Let's just throw that graphic up here now. That was going to be the last one, but why not? We'll do it first. The Howletts, Hoodie and Anaya coming to town to finally get their hands on Angel and Bruisador Valencia y Paz. That is if one half of Valencia decides to show up. Sorry, Paz. Not Valencia's been there. It's Paz that's the one that has always missed, especially when the Howletts are in town.
Or Valencia. I almost feel bad for the stupid idiot. Valencia has been trying to keep the Empire together, kind of, sort of, while they have been slowly crumbling and imploding. So, if this isn't an omen for guys like Valencia Paz not to mess with the hot tag, maybe people should take that as a sign, like, oh man, maybe we shouldn't mess with those guys at the hot tag. Like, they've got really mean friends that like to beat people up.
They do. That we do.
Agreed.
So that's the big match we're looking forward to. Obviously, every one of these matches we're looking forward to, but specifically that one for almost a year now. Next one up, Handgun Dan going against the newly crowned HCW heavyweight champion, Remington Roar. This one's going to be a fun match. Love Remington. I've only seen Handgun in person once wrestle. I missed did he wrestle in Wichita, I believe? Is that?
He did.
Yeah, I missed that one. So but the one I did see him at in Leavenworth was fun. So this one's going to be interesting. New champion. I don't see title match on this one, so it might maybe be a non-title showdown here.
Well, title on the line or no title on the line. Handgun Dan is going to unfortunately have a bad night. Almost as bad as that horrible Detroit Tigers tattoo on his arm.
I don't think I've ever noticed that.
Yeah. You can't, because you can't tell what the fuck it is, but that's exactly what it is. But yeah, like I talked to Aaron Helms about Remington War, and again, no disrespect to Mr. Helms, the prodigy, but bro, there's not too many creatures that walk planet Earth that are quite like Mr. Remington Roar. So, yeah. Sorry about your damn luck, Handgun Dan.
Next up, Hector de Oro taking on fan favorite Paradox.
Yes.
You've had the I guess the pleasure of seeing Hector wrestle in person in Wichita. Obviously Paradox is a phenomenal wrestler. Cannot wait for this one. Yeah, and again, this is just kind of play in again to that Empire implosion with old Triple Dicks, who has Hector by his side. So,
let's see how it plays out, my friend.
Yes, sir. So earlier October, we had both of these men on the show. Back-to-back weeks, we had Aaron Helms followed by Big Country Matt Stockdale. So heavyweight bout here, man. I don't know, man. I this is gonna be a slugfest. Aaron's just like it was in Wichita with Remington. He's running into a train here with Matt Stockdale.
Well, so here's the thing that I'm looking at, man. It's a little bit different now. Because this is a different Aaron Helms that faced off in Leavenworth last time, and that called Matt Stockdale into the ring and challenged him. We saw the dirty, nasty antics from Aaron Helms after his match with Remington Roar. We saw that he got suspended. We saw that he's been trying to get back into the arena at the last show. Thank God it didn't happen. I thought he was going to somehow sneak in and cost Remington Roar the match and the title. Like I said, thank God that didn't happen. So, but now Matt Stockdale's, we're not looking at a prideful contest between Aaron Helms and Matt Stockdale, a traditional, show of respect, if you will. Aaron Helms hasn't been quite the respectful individual the past month.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. I think I could see Aaron Helms doing whatever it takes to win this match.
Yep. Agreed.
Not the same way that I would expect Matt Stockdale to do whatever it takes. I think Aaron Helms does it dirty.
And finally, what a match this is going to be.
Absolutely.
Ray Leon taking on Luke Langley. Now, Ray's been in last Leavenworth show. He was in there with Tino Valentino. That was a classic match. Remind me. Oh, he was in the tournament. Yeah, he was in the tournament and got to the finals with Remington Roar for the belt.
Yep. And then he faced Calvin Aldridge the show prior to that.
Yes, Calvin Aldridge. That's the one I was missing. And then now getting in there with Luke Langley. This one is I'm just as excited for, even though we have no investment as a hot tag in this match as we do with Valencia. But I'm just as excited for this match as I am with the tag match because we both know how great both of these guys are in the ring, and they're going to showcase it against each other. And could very well easily be match of the night candidate, if not already. Yeah, this one's high on my list of excitement for this Saturday.
Absolutely. So, it's going to be a great show, man. Like I said, now the hot tag is going to be there, right?
Yes, the I-70 hot tag will be there. That's only 1, 2, 3. What do we see? 5 matches. That's all I saw on the website. I'm sure there's going to be a couple more matches there as well. So stay.
But the I-70 hot tag is going to be there.
The I-70 hot tag will be there. Yes, they will. Why do you keep asking that? That's a weird thing to keep saying.
Well, I'm just curious if the I-70 hot tag is going to be there. Because I know CR Media is going to be there. I know Chase is going to be there. Is the I-70 hot tag going to be there?
The I-70 hot tag will be represented at Leavenworth. Don't you worry about that. So,
okay.
Heartland Championship Wrestling. Make sure you guys are following them on social media. I'm sure they'll post a couple more matches. Stay locked in on those. And
shows every month, guys.
They're Leavenworth, man.
Yeah, they're running shows just about. I say every month. It's been every month.
A couple times a month, man.
Yeah, a couple times a month. Like so, HCW and Billy Simmons are putting on fantastic shows. Make sure you guys go check them out. They're running anywhere between Wichita and Leavenworth. So if you're there, definitely go check it out, especially those Wichita shows, man. Those Wichita shows. Crowd is definitely not lacking. So speaking of crowd not lacking, we were talking about them with old Hoodie earlier, and CSW.
Yes,
has got their event on November 18th, Bad Moon Rising. Yep. Show us what CSW has in store for November 18th at Bad Moon Rising.
So we talked about it 2 weeks ago. They announced their show right before we went live. They're going to see Jeremy Wyatt taking on Gil Rogers and for the CSW Championship. Jason's super excited about that one. And then we're also going to get the return of the best pizza maker, the best pizza chef, Luigi Primo.
Bro, did you see Michael Strider giving me that verbal smackdown?
I did.
On Facebook.
He put you right back in your place.
Yeah. I was like, no, but seriously, Scott Tyler versus Wyatt or We Riot.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They got the biggest event of the year, like Hoodie said, coming up in December. Maybe that's the time we see it. You never know.
Maybe.
Then again, Scott's kind of, we're going to talk about Scott here in a minute. He is kind of got other things going on. But Luigi Primo is going to be back. Hadn't been to Kansas City for almost a year since Deal with the Steel or Vendetta. I can't remember which one was his last show. He's facing off against Ethan Price. But they've announced 4 other matches, starting with the women's match. We get Tootie Lynn, the Little Blue Dragon, making her CSW return against Maggie Lee, who is debuting. And Maggie Lee is If you guys have not seen her, man, she's phenomenal wrestler. She wrestles a lot up at north of us in Iowa, Nebraska. She's in Chicago area. She's kind of all over the place. So this is going to be a great match. Super excited for this one.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I didn't even see this match was announced.
Yeah.
I
saw that. I was like, damn, this is a damn good one.
Yeah. That is completely awesome. I dig that.
Let you take this one.
Yeah, man. Another first another first here in CSW. Somebody who we're used to seeing in the St. Louis area. The Southern Flamingo, Cody Lane, taking on the Black Diamond Luke Langley, man. That could be match of the night. So that's gonna be a fantastic contest.
Yep. Yes, sir. And as we talked about earlier, the Giant Slayer Scott Tyler going one-on-one with someone who's normally in a tag team. Does it say the Superstar? That's fucking great.
You've never heard him call that?
No.
Yeah.
And if I have, I just went right over my head that it's Superstar.
Yeah.
Anyway, Campbell Myers in a singles match. Haven't seen him in a singles match since Horseman Country, which is right here on the wall. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Love Scott Tyler, and sponsored by Top Tier Figures. So, and last one, here you go. This is going to be another match of the night candidate. Chase, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I can't. I was gonna say some stupid shit, but I'm just not going to.
You're good. We're already off the rails. Let's not go further off.
No, don't do that. Don't give me permission. That boy, SK Bishop, taking on second to none Kenny Alfonso. I don't know. I'll tell you what, the feud that Scott Tyler and Mike Outlaw have been in with the Premier. Maybe this is boiling over, and now Kenny Alfonso is going to get involved. It's going to be a great contest, though. Like you said, we haven't seen both of the men in singles competition since Horseman Country last year. So to see the Premier split up, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Could be interesting. Saturday, November 18th, Lenexa, Kansas National Guard Armory. Hit them up. Go check them out. Take a start, $20. That's GA. Yes. Front row might be 30. I can't remember. But
front row might be sold out.
Oh yeah, you're right. Front row sells out before they even go on sale for general admission. So never mind. Yep. You missed out. But still, general admission, I'm sure, is still available. So
correct. Glory Pro.
Yes, got a couple things to show here. First, my favorite poster of any independent wrestling show that we've ever covered in the last 2 years, and that is Must Be the Money, Calvin Tankman versus Camaro Jackson for the Crown of Glory Championship. That poster, what'd you say in the chat? Goes hard.
So fucking hard, bro.
Yeah, that's a fucking that's a badass poster. Like, I don't even know. Like I said, it's one of the best I've seen in the 2 years we've done the hot tag. So
yeah, I mean, like that moment right there, like, and of course it's November 19th. My anniversary is the 17th, so I'm probably not going to make it to CSW or Glory Pro. Which I can't believe Glory Pro is fucking running Tankman and fucking Camaro again, and I'm gonna miss it. So
we missed both of them.
I missed it last time, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because CSW was that weekend.
Oh yeah. You stayed in time to go to that one. Yep. So that event is. I have two here, but that event is going to be at the top there, November 19th. Must Be the Money. They're going to also see Luigi Primo, which I don't know if he's ever wrestled in Glory Pro. He hasn't since we've been covering it. Jake something, Shazza McKenzie, Tootie Lynn. But they also announced December to Dismember 3, which they do every year. And All Ego Ethan Page going to be on the card.
Yes.
So that's a fun one to go to if you can.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Ethan Page showed up at Glory Pro last year.
He did,
but I think he just showed up. I don't think he wrestled. Right?
I think he was on the card. I think he actually wrestled the match. It was in the summer. It was toward the beginning. We were So I think he did. He may not have, but he was like on a graphic to wrestle. So two huge shows to close out the year for Glory Pro, as they always do. So go check them out if you can, if you're in the St. Louis area or surrounding areas.
Absolutely. So, speaking of surrounding areas, our friends down in the center of the state of Missouri, New Breed Wrestling.
Yes. They.
What is going on?
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's just there's a lot.
There's a lot going on. I guess the rematch everyone's been waiting for. Dr. Ison and Austin Muitalo and Slammer. And yeah, you're right. There's a lot going on here. Where's the date? November 18th, same day as CSW. If you're in Central Missouri, you can go watch yourself some New Breed Wrestling.
Yes.
Slammer, Burt Candy, Shai Lynn, Photo the Ghost, Nadia White going to be in action there. So
I guess it gets really interesting if you Google Nadia White.
That's what I hear. But anyway, Liberty Convention Hall in Sedalia, Missouri. And if this is the same location, this building is a perfect for professional wrestling. It's where we saw Austin win the U.S. title
against Luke Langley.
Yes, against Luke Langley, one of my favorite matches that I've seen live in the hot tag era. So, yeah, man, go check them out. Sedalia, Missouri.
Absolutely.
What else?
So we went from St. Louis to Sedalia, back to St. Louis, because St. Louis Anarchy just announced their big end of the year show, Mega Ticket.
Yes, and they just announced. We talked Gary J. We talked a couple matches a couple weeks ago. But since then they've announced two. First one up, we got Casey Carrington versus Camaro Jackson, with a loser. God, November 18th. I did not realize that all these events are happening the same day.
Are they really having a show on a Saturday?
November 18th. Is that not what it was? Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of events happening.
That weekend.
Anyway, Casey Carrington versus Camaro. Loser wears a potato sack. So Casey's been getting potatoes thrown at him the last 3 or 4.
Yep. Do you know why? Because
I don't know why. Because I don't understand why the crowd was doing that.
Well, because if you look at Casey, he resembles a potato. Look at him.
It makes sense now.
It does.
It makes complete sense.
He looks like a straight up potato. So I would absolutely, positively, expeditiously love. What a word. Love for Casey Carrington to lose this match and have to walk around in a potato sack while we all toss potatoes at him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And they did announce their Gateway Heritage title match. It's going to be Aaron Williams getting that opportunity against Derek Neal, and it's a fun match. I love Aaron Williams. They're gonna put on a great show, but you know who's coming for that title, and it's gonna the eventual clash is gonna happen. It's gonna be Derek Neal. It's gonna be Thomas Shire, and that's gonna headline an event at some point in 2024. It's almost Shire time, man.
It's almost Shire time.
It's coming.
I like it. I don't hate it. I like it. I definitely don't hate it. I definitely like it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that's going to do it for our show tonight. But Josh, what I want you to do is I want you to kind of cover these upcoming shows.
Yes, this section I have not haven't updated for 2 weeks. So, but we do have Heartland Championship Wrestling in Leavenworth on the 4th this Saturday. Also on the 4th, Traditional American Pro Wrestling History returns. They're going to feature James Storm. So that'll be a good one in Topeka. Anyway, they're in the middle of Kansas somewhere. Mid-States Wrestling comes back to Springfield, Missouri. Haven't been there in 3 or 4 months. That's on November 11th. November 18th, we talked about. We've got multiple events. St. Louis Anarchy. Mega Ticket's going to be there. CSW, Bad Moon Rising in Kansas City. We've got Glory Pro that same weekend. South Broadway Athletic Club. And on November 19th, that's a Sunday. And then that kind of rounds out December. New Breed Wrestling, I'm sorry, is also on the 18th. So, again, I haven't updated that section, so my bad. I kind of free-handed that.
That's all right. That's all right. And then our future guests, obviously November 9th, we have Cody Lane.
Yes.
And then on November 16th, we have Dr. Eisen. So we will be back next week, even though we told you all we were going to bi-weekly, because Josh can't fucking schedule correctly. So we will be back next week, guys.
Apologies.
Josh, you got anything else before we close out?
I do not. Appreciate everybody for tuning in.
I appreciate everybody tuning in as well. I also want to give a special shout out to Angel De Paz for showing up and running his mouth more to certify that he's going to get his ass kicked even more on Saturday. So guys, if you are in the area, make sure you head out to Leavenworth, Kansas at the Leavenworth local hotel. We're going to be there. One of us is going to be there, rooting on our guys, Hoodie and Anaya Howlett, as they absolutely positively destroy Angel De Paz and Bruisador Valencia. Josh, you have anything else before we close out?
Do not.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something different tonight. Starting from now on, it's not going to be the good fight, good night thing. But what I will tell you is catch a foot when I drive. Big pressure I apply. In the ring, you won't survive. Yeah, swerve when I drive. Have a good night, everybody.